Good evening. It's Monday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for some nervous chat. And tonight I have actually got a guest. Thankfully, no more hiccups. I must obviously say that it was really unfortunate circumstances last week, and the YouTuber that was meant to be coming in to talk to me sadly broke his leg on the day and was actually in hospital. So I think, you know, all things considered, it's very forgivable that he was unable to make the show. So I have obviously rescheduled. So Jake from Out and About UK will be joining us at a later date, which I think is only fair. Obviously, circumstances well beyond his control. On to tonight's show. We have reached episode 10. I can't believe this is the 10th episode of Nervous Chat already. It's, you know, it's been phenomenal. I've enjoyed this so much, and tonight's guests seem appropriate for the 10th show. They are a father and daughter team who I have met and spent a day with and loved every minute of. They seem to be everywhere at the moment, all over the country, at every possible event and attraction, and I love watching their stuff. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ben and Hollie from Ben and Hollie's Themepark Adventures.
Hey.
Good evening.
Evening, Darren. You all right, mate? I'm
good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Fantastic. Hollie, lovely to see you. When I spoke to Daddy earlier on in the week, I wasn't sure whether you'd be joining us because I thought maybe it would be too late. And then he explained to me that there was absolutely no way he was going to be allowed to come onto the show without you. And I totally, I can see, you know, you are as crucial to the channel as Dad. So absolutely, you should be here. I suppose we should start where we always start with, you know, you didn't just become a YouTuber overnight. You didn't wake up one morning, I'm assuming, and go, oh, I know, let's start a YouTube channel. So how did it all start?
Hollie. It was Hollie. So, yeah, we watched a lot of vlogs, didn't we, before, like theme park vlogs and things. And then obviously we got our annual passes this year, started going to parks a lot. And Hollie just kept pestering me, Daddy, can we vlog? Daddy, can we vlog? Daddy, can we vlog? So we did a few little trials, didn't we? We was messing about, just videoing around the parks. Never really materialised into anything. And then our first vlog that's on our channel, the Mardi Gras one, we went on our own that day. Nathaniel, he wasn't feeling great, was he, that morning? So he didn't want to come. And then we went and Hollie said, shall we vlog today, Daddy? And we did it, we put it all together, and then here we are, we stuck it on the channel, and then it's just grown from there. Yeah, quite amazing really, because, you know, I think the channel's only been going 4 months now. I think we've got 30 videos on there now, and yeah, it's just sort of steamrolled really, and we really enjoy it, absolutely love it. So yeah, it
adds up very quickly, doesn't it? The videos. I was looking at my channel earlier, and I hadn't realised I've uploaded 80 odd videos in about 5.5 months.
It's incredible,
and it's absolutely ludicrous, you know. And like yourselves, I've just ticked over the 300 subscribers mark, which, you know, never ever thought for 1 second I'd get anywhere near that. You know, and it's just although obviously we don't, you know, we're not subscriber driven, should we call it. It's always nice to get those people. It's kind of a recognition, isn't it, of the work that is put in, as you yourself can appreciate, to probably more so the editing than anything else. Filming on the day is you know, is pretty much a sort of a shoot and go sort of thing, but it's the editing afterwards that really takes the time, or certainly that's what I find.
It does, yeah. I find myself getting glued to it though. I'm one of these people that once I start something, I have to finish it. So, you know, I'll sit normally we'll go to a park on a Saturday, and then I'll get up on a Sunday morning. I'll download all my videos I've done, and I'll start, and I won't stop until I've finished editing it. 4 or 5 hours later, I've finished it.
That's dedication. That is dedication. I was just about to say to you, how do you find time with children as well to edit videos? Because I know personally, I find myself getting up at about 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, before everybody else gets up, and that'll give me maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to just sit and do my editing. And I still find then I'm like 3, 4, 5 days, sometimes longer, depending on waking up. So, you know, it's as you say, it's just finding that time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, normally when we've been to a park on the Saturday, these are really tired, so they don't get up till a bit later anyway. Hollie will come down and sit next to me, won't you, and watch, you know, while I'm editing and stuff. Maybe one day she'll take over and save me the hassle of doing all the editing.
I think that's our dream, isn't it, as parent vloggers, that we can hand everything over to the next generation at some point and go, okay, you can do this bit now. I've got, absolutely. It's a legacy, I suppose, isn't it? You know, we can hand over all these memories that we've made with our children, and then they've got them, and the hope is that they'll continue the channels, and then obviously they've got that plus the memories that they add. I mean, that would be just the dream, wouldn't it, really, for them to do that?
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's the key as well there, the memories. Like, my mum passed away like 3 years ago, and I've got very little like video footage or anything like that of my mum, and I just think if only I'd have, you know, had something like this to look back on. So I look at my channel like that as well. Like, my kids are in the future, they'll have all this to look back on, all these days out that we've had, and yeah, it's just it's the memories more than anything that I'm doing it for anyway. But you know,
me too.
Yeah.
So
and obviously, you know, as you say, they're amazing memories, and we've got them now forever in cyberspace to look back on. You know, whenever, as you say, I've got 2 teenage children who I've got very little. I've got photographs, obviously, of their whole childhood and everything else, but very little else. And I kind of feel a little bit sad now, because I'm going to have all these video memories of my 2 youngest children at the parks, doing this, doing that, you know, and then I've got nothing for the older 2. So I'm trying to just sort of draw them in a bit. Unfortunately, my oldest isn't interested in being on video, hates it, is embarrassed by daddy being a YouTuber, you know, so that's fine, that's up to her. But then I've got my oldest son who loves it, and he joins in with me, and he quite often comes to the parks. I think you met him actually when we met up at Carnival.
yeah.
And
yeah, in the queue for Colossus, we queued up for Colossus together, didn't we? I think
that's it. Yes. So it's lovely to have those, that he's coming in now a little bit as well, and so I'll have those, at least some memories for him as well, because I mean, he's been on a similar journey to me with as far as ride anxiety is concerned. He'll tell you he was never as bad. I disagree. I think at times he was equally as bad for anxiety as me. So I've got his journey as well now recorded, which is, you know, I'll embarrass him when he brings his first girlfriend home with those videos, especially the Chessington Tigers.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers the Tigers. Do you know what? I'll never forget that day, ever. I don't know what possessed him to make that comment. It literally was comedy gold. But
I did pay homage to, I think, in my Chessington vlog as well, when I was filming the tigers, just to confirm these are real tigers.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. I love it. So how do you find vlogging as a parent? I mean, it's not easy. I know from my experience trying to film, make sure everyone's happy. How do you juggle it?
It's getting easier, I think. It was very difficult at first, and as you know, like, Nathaniel isn't that keen being on video. Although he's coming out of his shell a bit now, and he's starting to get involved a bit more. But yeah, so it's getting that balance right, isn't it? Of having a fun time and having a nice time, but also trying to sort of make sure you get content. But I just try and I've constantly got my camera out now, so I try and not let it get in the way of us having a nice time. So I'm pretty much recording, you know, not all the time, but a lot of the time. So it's not kind of a thing, oh, I just need to go and film this, so just wait there for me while I mean, there is little bits like that if I want to go and film a ride or something. But no, I try not to let it interrupt the day anymore. I think when I first started, I was more focused on, oh, I must do this and I must do this. I must go and capture that shot of the ride, you know, going over that barrel roll and all sorts of things like that. Please wait there, guys. You know, oh, just one more cycle. Let me just get it. I didn't get that quite right. And
people go past in the queues like that.
Yeah, like, oh, just wait for me here, guys, in the queue while I just get this, and you know, let anyone go past. And I mean, yeah, I just don't do that sort of stuff so much anymore. I just
you do it on the Wicker Man.
Wicker Man, yeah. If when we was on the night ride the other day at Wicker Man, because I wanted to get that shot, but odd days, you know, odd things like that, I'll do.
But you always do that shot.
I know, yeah. It's a classic shot of Wicker Man.
Next time we go Alton Towers, I'm going to see if you do it.
What? Yeah, she's on about, you know, just before you go into the show building, the pre-show. There's that shot of Wicker Man there. Everyone films it. So yeah.
The thing is, though, Hollie, every time you film that shot, it's different. The weather's different, the sky's different, you know. So I do kind of empathise with Dad here a little bit. I'm guilty myself of going, hold on a minute, I just want to catch it coming round through Bob. All right, we can go in now. So you, vlogging with children, I had to learn the hard way, because started off and it was actually interfering with my family days out to the point where, you know, my wife said to me, look, I appreciate you want to do this, and I appreciate it's your hobby. However, it's becoming a bit of a problem for our family days out, because we don't feel like you're with us anymore, because you're so busy going, oh, I must go and film Colossus, I must go and do this, I must go and do it. And then what I had to learn was actually stop doing those kind of vlogs and do family days out. And now, like you say, it's much easier because I just film what we do. If we don't do it, I don't film it. You know, who's to know that I didn't do X ride that day? People probably don't really care that much. They care about what I did do, and you know, and they enjoy watching those family moments. And I think that's certainly, you know, I watch your channel and I watch your videos, and I love seeing those family interactions, and I love seeing how much fun Hollie's having, and her interactions with the actors and the characters, and you know, and it's that draw, isn't it? And you know, and I think it's as you say, it's development, isn't it? It's learning, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so I like I say, I just try not to let it interrupt our days anymore. It's just Daddy's got the camera in his hand, and we just go with the flow, and that's pretty much it.
Hollie, I remember.
She's the one who's got me into this, and then she's now mocking me with it.
Yeah, isn't that always the way? Isn't that always the way? I remember, Hollie, spending that day with you at Carnival, and just, you know, you're such a ray of sunshine. You know, you're always smiling, always happy. You know, and and you know, and it comes across in the videos that you love every minute of what you're doing, and that makes it so much pleasure to watch. You know, it's like Steve from Thrills and Food. I love watching his family vlogs as well, because it's family time, and you know, it is the best way forward. As Dale or Jess has just put here, natural vlogging is the best, and it's true. Absolutely, it is very true.
Yeah. They're one of the best at that as well, I have to say. Their vlogs
are brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever watch their vlogs for the rides. I watch it for their interactions, you
Yeah,
know, because
exactly.
and if you see some ride footage, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
If you don't, doesn't matter because it's a brilliant vlog anyway. So yeah, I agree. You know, their family.
Dale's one-liners all the time. Quality.
Oh yeah. And in any other accent they wouldn't work, but in Dale's accent, they are always hilarious. So
I have to say, I've only met him once. I met him at Oktoberfest very briefly, and I have to say his dancing was fantastic. He's a great dancer.
it's quite funny because I also met him. I think it might have been the day after you actually at Oktoberfest, and we were on the lawn after all the rides had closed, and as a special transition piece, the band started playing the theme tune to Ghostbusters and Moonwalk.
Oh wow, nice.
And yeah, he was giving us the moves. It was brilliant.
Nice.
Absolutely just gold. So Hollie, I'm going to ask you this first. What's been your favourite park and favourite event?
Oh, I can do the event first. Carnival.
Carnival, okay. What did you love about Carnival?
Clowns.
You're not scared of clowns then, I'm assuming. It's such a common fear these days, isn't it, clowns? It's
yeah. She loved Breakout at Bozo's, didn't you?
I remember you doing Breakout at Bozo's actually, and you just, I think you were probably braver about doing it than I was. But yeah, it turned out to be quite a good attraction in the end. Carnival, I think, has been Thorpe's best event. I would agree with that this year. I don't know whether that's because Mardi Gras was so poor, and I've heard a lot of negativity about Oktoberfest as well from people who attended that and didn't think much of it.
Yeah. It certainly wasn't anything compared to Alton Towers Oktoberfest, put it that way.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was hearing, which is a shame because I think, you know, there's so much potential at Thorpe Park. I know it's my home park and I love Thorpe Park, but there's so much potential they don't realize that when they do these events that it's almost like they see them as an inconvenience maybe to their normal day-to-day running. Except Carnival, I actually do genuinely agree. Carnival, they actually put effort into and pulled it off.
Yeah, I felt
a lot better.
Really good,
yeah,
really good event, and I think you got out of it what you put into it, if you like, with Carnival. I think you had to put in that effort and sort of try and interact with the actors, and then obviously they came out of the show.
Were the best there.
They were, weren't they? Yeah,
they liked me.
Yeah, and they put a lot of effort into that event, I felt. I think Fright Nights looks incredible as well from the footage I've seen, so I'm really excited to get there, to be honest. I know I've never been, to be honest, but I know they generally put on a really good event for Fright Nights from what I've seen, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people saying that it's better than it has been for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to going as well. Obviously, it'll be my first ever time doing scare mazes, so I'm quite nervous. I'm not going to lie. I've got a friend who I've already pre-warned is going to probably have to hold my hand through the mazes because I don't deal with scares very well. But I'm determined to do it. It's it's one of those things I've got to do now. So what's your favourite park, Hollie? We've done your favourite event, Carnival. Totally agree with you on that one. Favourite park?
Hard. It's hard. I like Thorpe Park and Alton Towers.
See, we're in total agreement there. I agree with you. I think I'm split between the two. I have a love for Thorpe Park because it's my local park, but I also love Alton Towers because it's just such an amazing park, isn't it? So yeah, I think I agree with you. Ben, how about you? Favourite event and park?
I'm going to be boring and say Carnival again because I think just Carnival is fantastic. it's difficult because I loved Oktoberfest. I think Oktoberfest was fantastic at Alton Towers. But I just think, yeah, it's tough. Can I choose Alton Towers for Oktoberfest and Carnival for Thor? Yeah.
That's fair enough, yeah.
If I pick one, it would be Carnival, I think. Just for the all-round event, the fact that they have the scare maze there as well. I know a lot of people said, you know, it's a bit funny having a scare maze at the Carnival event, but I think the whole story of the whole Carnival with the junkyard and Bozo being expelled to the junkyard, and then you having the scare maze in there where Bozo's living now, all that sort of thing, I think made the event. But you have, like I say, you have to sort of, it wasn't self-explanatory. So if you went and the average visitor to Thorpe Park would think, you know, what's going on here? You've got a little stage going on, and you've got the odd fire performer coming on, and you've got weird people floating around with clown makeup on.
Someone had a 5-year-old and they haven't been there before and they didn't know about Scarefest and they went Scarefest. Would you think they would want to go again?
Well, if they just went straight to Scarefest,
yeah,
and didn't realise it was Fright Nights. Yeah, I think that would be quite daunting, wouldn't it? She's saying if someone just turned up at Fright Nights just thinking they was just going to Thorpe Park and not realising there was all these actors in the park, would they want to go again?
Yeah, it could be quite off-putting, couldn't it? I totally agree with you that I think there needed to be a bit more explanation to Carnival, because it was a very joined up theme if you knew the story of where Bozo comes from.
Yeah.
And why it kind of is the way it is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was no real explanation of that, was there? You sort of, if you knew about it, was it the Big Top, the original scare maze was called, and if you knew that's where Bozo was from, and you kind of would get it a bit more, but without that explanation, as you say, I think it was kind of a little bit lost in translation, which is a real shame because they did put so much into it. I'm hoping that Fright Nights now lives up to and beyond that. I think I'm really excited, I must admit. The terminal, if they pull the terminal off, although I'm hearing very mixed reviews about this, if they pull that off well, that could be great. And survival games just looks kind of insane.
It does, yeah.
So yeah, I think that could be quite exciting.
Yeah.
What's been
negatives about the terminal, to be honest.
And
negatives about the invitation at Alton Towers, and as you saw in my vlog, I said I'm going into it with an open mind, but yeah, I didn't get it.
And I think the criticisms for both are quite similar.
Mm-hmm.
In that they haven't invested enough to make it work properly. So I am hoping that I'm wrong. I'm going to go in with an open mind because I've never done a scare maze before, never done a scare attraction before, or experience. So I'm going to go in. I did Bozo's, but that was a very tame scare maze. So I consider that more of a carnival attraction rather than a scare maze. So, and I'll be doing them in the dark as well. So that just adds a whole.
When I went in Darkest Depths, I think it was the same as Bozo's.
Okay. Yeah, because you've already done Scarefest at Alton Towers, haven't you?
Yeah, we did it this weekend. Just gone.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get up and do it because I've never done scare mazes. I happened to be at Scarefest last year, just pure by coincidence, but didn't really take in any of the actual event itself because I'd literally gone up there purely and simply to tick off Nemesis, Oblivion, and Smiler from my list of rides to conquer. And when I got there, Smiler had already broken down for the season, so it was a bit of a disappointing day from that respect. So I probably wasn't in the right sort of place to then be taking Scarefest in. So I'm hoping this year to get up there and again, I'll go in with an open mind and give an honest opinion because that's all we can do, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. Yeah,
So,
I'd recommend
it's-
to do the invitation. I haven't said don't bother, but just for me, I just didn't. I didn't get it at all. I just think it was a bit strange. It could be made better. There's things they could do to it, and I think I said in the vlog, if they put some actors in there maybe and just made it a bit more immersive. But yeah, it wasn't good.
So, Holly, what's been obviously you said Carnival was your favourite event, but has that been your favourite day at a park, or has there been a day that you have enjoyed more?
Wait for it.
No.
No, that's been your absolute favourite day at a park this year.
I think with Holly, she loves interacting with the actors, don't you? And I think she's sort of befriended some of the actors now at Thought, to the point they sort of recognise her, and at Alton Towers actually as well.
Yeah.
So
I think that's fantastic though, because I mean that's a credit to them as well, isn't it? That they are willing to do that, and because some of them are obviously regulars. There's a few that I could spot. I've already spotted what characters they are for Fright Nights, and who they were in Carnival. So yeah, I think that continuity is quite nice. I certainly think, Holly, when it comes to interacting with the actors, you're a lot braver than I am. I remember somebody saying to me once, oh, if you want to make a vlog really, really good, you need to go and interact with the actors. And I'm like, I can't talk to them. I can't talk to them. I've had a couple of photos with them. That'll do. But you just go in there, Holly, and I remember watching you at Carnival and think you were just absolutely smashing it. I was like, wow, this little girl's so much braver than I am. I wouldn't go up and talk to them like that. You're a little legend. You really are. The big question I've got to ask you, Holly, is have you braved stealth yet?
You have been on stealth before, haven't you? But not since we've seen you, since she said she's not going on it again.
Oh, okay. Do you think you're going to do it again anytime soon? See, I think you could do it. You could absolutely smash it. Because I've seen how brave you are. To me, stealth is far less intimidating than talking to actors in a park. It really is.
Yeah, I think it's that launch on stealth. It's took me a while to get her back on the height as well, and the launch. It took me a while to get her back on Rita. She had a bad experience on Rita. I think you sat on back row, didn't you, once, and it rattled her head a bit, and yeah, she refused to go on that. Coast captures what if Dad gets you a massive teddy. Yeah, that's it. That's the common theme of our vlogs, isn't it? Daddy couldn't wait to go on to get her. Yeah.
It must cost you a fortune in teddies.
Yeah. Cheers for that, Dale.
Yeah. Well done, Dale, for planting that idea in Holly's head. But yeah, so obviously we are in Halloween scare season now. So what are your plans for the upcoming weeks? I know you were talking to me earlier about an event at Alton Towers. So you're back at Alton Towers again in about 2 weeks, is it?
Yeah, just under 2 weeks now. We've been invited to
I can't say all of it.
I can't say all of it.
No, it's a surprise, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah. But yeah, we've been invited to this. It's called a Halloween challenge event. So a guy on Instagram contacted us.
And now that's enough.
And that's enough. I'm not allowed to say anymore. But no, there's a large. I think there's around 25 children going. A lot of them are like models and actors. And it's basically a challenge event to see how many rides and scare mazes they can brave throughout the day.
That's enough. And that means
But yeah, we're staying in the Enchanted Village as well.
That was the most important bit, and you just said it.
That's the most exciting bit, though, isn't it? we're staying in one of the woodland lodges, which I'm gonna.
Fantastic!
I'm gonna do a vlog from there, which should be cool. So yeah, that's exciting.
I've only ever stayed in the Enchanted Village once, and it was fantastic. I did really enjoy it. It was pre-COVID. Sadly, it generally speaking, it prices itself way out of my budget, which is sad, because I think, you know, it's something that children would love to do, and you know that being able to stay on park, especially a park like Alton Towers, is really part of the experience, isn't it? But I suppose, like any business, they see a demand and they take advantage. You know, it's
that's why we're so grateful to have been invited to this thing, because there's no way, like, on my sort of salary, that I'd be able to afford.
Well, we wouldn't be doing it. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't do the YouTube channel. So the one time.
Yeah, so basically the guy had spotted our YouTube channel, and
well, his friend did.
His friend, who's working as one of the cameramen on the event, he'd come across our YouTube channel
doing the video.
Saw Hollie braving all the rides and stuff, and basically decided to invite us along because he thought Hollie would be able to encourage some of the scared children to go on the rides.
Maybe not 13.
Yeah, we feel really honoured, to be honest. Like, never in a million years they expect something like that to happen, to be honest. So.
Probably.
No, I think that's absolutely awesome. That, you know, and I think Hollie would be a great ambassador for conquering fears in that respect, because obviously I remember doing Colossus with her, and absolutely fearless. You know, it was very easy to forget that she's as young as she is, considering, you know, how just cool as a cucumber. On she got, whoomp, off we went, and off she got at the end, going, yeah, I like Colossus. And I was thinking, you know, I was like 43, Hollie, before I got onto Colossus, and here you are, and you know, you're doing it as a child, you know, and I was quite ashamed of myself, just how calm. So I think she's going to be a great ambassador for that. And Hollie, you've also got the I suppose the upper hand on some of the other children going, that you've already done the mazes, so you kind of know what's coming.
And done the dungeons.
What did you think of the dungeons?
Yeah,
I liked it.
Oh. We've done the dungeons twice now, haven't we? Yeah.
3 times.
No, twice. Only twice.
3 times. So we did it first time, and we did it then,
and then we
did it with Edward.
Just twice.
3 times.
Okay, I'll settle at 3, but it's twice. But
fair enough. I it's lovely to see that I'm not the only person who has a child that will argue black is white with you, to the point where you just concede in the end for a peaceful life. I love it.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
And
I think last night, to be honest, we went to Goose Fair last night, and I've done a vlog, and I'll put it on the channel soon. But last night opened my eyes to just how fearless she is. Because I mean, we go to obviously the regular parks that we attend all the time, and she's done all the rides. So for me now, it's just a regular occurrence that she goes on these things. But we went to Goose Fair last night, and some of the rides. I mean, we didn't get to go on everything because the queues were just huge. But she was fully intending to go on some of these absolutely huge, terrifying looking rides, and she did go on some. Well, you'll see it in the vlog. I don't want to spoil it, but there's one ride that I was absolutely amazed that she went on, and we were literally sitting on the ride, and she was loving it, going round, and I was looking across, and I could see there was a bloke across, and he must have been 7 foot tall, built massive, and he had his eyes closed, just screaming. Like
that would have been me.
And I'm just thinking, she's next to me, arms in the air. So I'm just like, my child is absolutely crazy. But yeah, she's fearless. I think that's the best way to describe her. Fearless.
Yeah. My experience of obviously riding with her is that she just is absolutely fearless. Do you think there's anything, Hollie, that will is there a ride that you know of in England or the UK that you've seen and thought, I don't think I'll be able to get on that. I'm intrigued now. Is there a roller coaster that you've looked at and gone, that's not for me?
Not sure.
Stealth.
Yes, stealth.
But you've done it once, so you have done it. So that gives you the right to say, I didn't enjoy it. I don't particularly want to do it again. So I think that's fair enough. Is there a roller coaster, Hollie, that you really want to go and do, that you've seen in a vlog or advertised and thought, oh, I really want to go and do this, and you're going to pester your dad until he takes you to that park?
Something in Belgium. I don't know which ride though.
What Ride to Happiness?
Yeah,
At Plopsaland.
the one in Belgium.
Me and you both, Hollie. That's my European wish as well, is to go and do.
I want to go on that one.
Yeah, she's on about the first barrel roll it does just out of the station, the slow one.
Yeah. It looks awesome, doesn't it? I'm with you again, Hollie, on this one. I'm hoping we're trying to organise for a little trip out there, early part of next season, hopefully, to go and do Ride to Happiness, because it is one of my bucket list coasters, certainly.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it. Have you done Icon, Hollie?
She's just to point out, she's laughing because Nathaniel's just walked across the room and tripped up. That's why she's.
Oh no! Oh, poor Nathaniel. Poor Nathaniel.
Right, back to the show now.
Oh, Hollie.
Sorry about that.
No, it's absolutely fine. It's moments like this that make the show. At least it's something happening to somebody else, because it's normally something happening to me that makes everybody laughs about falling backdrops and yeah. Just,
I remember that one. That was good.
So and then there was it not last week, the week before, when I accidentally took myself out of the live by just clicking the wrong side of the mouse, which was absolutely hilarious, apparently. So it's quite nice that something's going wrong for somebody else. I was saying, Hollie, have you been to Blackpool and done Icon yet? Did you do Enzo?
What's that one?
That's the spinning bit on the back. It wasn't there. We went to Blackpool last year, and Enzo wasn't on then. That
was my first ever upside down ride.
That was her first ever upside down coaster.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
She
was last year. She'd not quite reached 1.4, and because it's only 1.3, isn't it, Icon? So we went there. I took her there purposely just to get her on Icon, because she wanted to go on a coaster that inverts. So yeah.
Yeah. And Icon's just an amazing roller coaster. It literally one ride on that last weekend, and it was my number one.
Yeah, it
is a beautiful, beautiful roller coaster. It's just got everything in the right amounts, and but you need to get back, Hollie, and get on Enzo, because Enzo's insane.
We're there at the end of October, aren't we? We've already got it booked. We're there for late night riding at the end of October.
When we went to go on Smile, our first ever Alton Towers, well, second, shall I say. And I kept saying to Daddy, it's not the same inversion, Daddy.
Yeah.
So it's not the same.
Do you agree though, Hollie, that Smiler has too many inversions? We were having this conversation the other day, and those last 2 or 3 inversions just seem like 2 or 3 too many.
No, I think it fits in.
I think she's okay because she's sort of small and doesn't get rattled about by it. But
like this.
Yeah.
I certainly agree. Those final 3 inversions are just horrendous.
They do hurt me a little bit.
To the point where if you sit at the back of the train on the wheels, it's almost unbearable. And we obviously do single rider a lot, and I quite often, if they put me in that seat, I quite often contemplate just walking across and walking out. because it's just that painful. But
I remember one time in the Smiler queue, I said, Nathaniel, can I go first? And then I saw that they needed a single rider in back row, so I was like, you can go first, Dad.
Holly, it's the fact that you even know all that about where to sit on Smiler for the smoothest ride at your age is just impressive. I mean, you know, I'm still at that point where I'll just get on wherever they tell me to get on, and make the most of it. You're right, there are parts of it that are rougher than others. I actually did front row on Smiler last weekend, and it was the roughest ride I think I've ever had on Smiler. And it was, I don't know whether it was made worse because I'd been at Blackpool and done obviously Icon, which was so smooth, or I just happened to be sat in totally the wrong place on the wrong car. But it was the roughest ride I've ever had on Smiler, and I actually came off with a bit of a headache, and I just thought, whoa, I've never come off Smiler feeling like that before. And it was disappointing because I do love Smiler, but you know, like all coasters, you know, there's good cars and bad cars, and good seating arrangements and bad seating arrangements, I suppose. So
I always I think Smiler was originally penned to have lap bars, wasn't it? I don't know if you know that, but they designed it with lap bars, and I think it was Merlin that said, no, we want over the head restraints. And I think that would have helped it a lot. I know a lot of people would have been terrified to ride it just with lap bars, and I think that was what Merlin was fearing.
Because if lap bars was like that, when they go for the first one that goes like that over, you'll be like that. Yeah,
but Icon's got lap bars, isn't it? And you don't feel unsafe on Icon. Yeah. I think if it was done right with lap bars, I think it would be a lot better ride, to be honest. I still love the ride though. This is the thing. I don't dislike Smiler. I just wish it was more comfortable to ride.
And I think you're. I mean, again, it's a conversation we were having earlier this week about wouldn't it be awesome if they did actually swap out the those overhead restraints for lap bars, similar to Icon or similar to, you know, European and American versions of the same ride, essentially. But then what we also hit upon was, imagine the outcry if they did that now. Obviously, in remembering what happened to the Smiler, exactly. those years ago, you know, I don't think the public would sadly take to it too well, which is a shame because I think it would improve the ride. I think you're right, and it's becoming more and more popular now, isn't it, to have rides with just lap bars? Look at Sick, for example. You know, it's part of its attraction is the fact that it is lap bar only, and people have been raving about the fact that makes such a huge difference to the ride. I think I agree that it's certainly an improvement, but I don't think they'll ever do it. Merlin don't seem to like lap bars on anything that inverts, do they?
No, but which is why Project Exodus surprised me, because that is being penned with lap bars, isn't it? They're building that with lap bars, so, and that's got inversions.
Yes.
So maybe they're opening the idea now. So.
Well, I was also quite intrigued to find out. Somebody was telling me today was that if Exodus goes ahead, it will actually be the tallest inverted roller coaster in the world.
Really?
Yeah, inverted.
Okay.
That's that. So I'm gonna have to look into that now, because I hadn't even considered that. But it'll be interesting to see whether that is the case, because if that's, you know, if that is the case, then it's going to be another world beater that Merlin have opened, and they do seem to like opening world-breaking attractions, don't they? When they do,
they certainly do. Yeah. I've not heard that one. I mean, I'm not that up on my roller coasters worldwide, so I wouldn't really know. But I was surprised at that, to be honest. Yeah.
I've got to be honest and say I'm not even that up on roller coasters in the UK. Half the time I go and I ride them, and then I learn a little bit about them, and that's about as far as it goes. Right, obviously, for the last part of the show, I'm going to open up questions from any viewers. So if you've got any questions for Ben or for Hollie, now will be your time to ask them. Type them into the live chat and I'll bring them up. See, we've got one straight away here, which is Hollie. Do you want to do Mumbo Jumbo and Hero?
Don't know which one that is.
Hero's the one at Flamingo Land where you lie in the cage face down. You remember you've seen it. And Mumbo Jumbo's the small one that you've got small little cars and you do like a beyond vertical drop, isn't it? Looks crazy, that coaster. I want to do it.
Yeah.
That was that question was by Ted. He appears in quite a few of our vlogs. That's my nephew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted.
It was Ted. Because it's because his name was Eddie Widdowson on there, wasn't it? Yeah. That's my
I must admit, I saw that and thought, I don't recognise that that channel. So
yeah.
We've got our Coaster Capturer weekly question. Favourite movie?
What's your favourite movie? You're not sure?
Not really.
I knew Dale was going to ask this, and I don't really have a favourite movie, to be honest, as such. I've got a few.
When Nathaniel
films
was watching the series of Stranger Things, I liked.
Well, that's Stranger Things. That's not a movie. I would say overall, the movie I've probably watched the most in my life and I enjoy the most is probably Home Alone. It's a bit sad,
I got
isn't
it.
But Home Alone,
Pocus. I like
Oh,
Very seasonal, Hollie. Very seasonal. Have you watched the second one yet? Is it any good? I haven't watched it yet, so
yeah.
don't give me any spoilers. You can let me know if it's is it worth watching? Right, I'll look into it then based on you telling me that it's worth watching. And Home Alone, yeah, Ben. Do you know what? That was the first movie I ever saw at the cinema at 12 years old.
really?
Yeah, absolutely loved it. And I still laugh to this day.
Yeah, me too.
It never gets old, does it? It never ever gets old. And I still quote it. I still say things like, "Nice night for a neck injury," and things like that. You know, you just never get out of it, do you? It's a timeless classic and a masterpiece of movie making.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Hollie, Coaster Chicken would like to know, what roller coaster are you actually afraid of, if any?
13.
Is there any particular reason why 13, or is it just that the theming of it is a bit dark, isn't it?
Whenever we're just talking about 13, she goes very strange.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, it's following the Festival of Thrills when the 13 girl was wandering around.
Yes.
But before that, she used to ride 13 all the time. She was fine. But when she saw her, that's just ruined the ride for her, to be honest.
Oh, bless you.
It's a bit strange because she knows she's not in that area anymore. It's gone. Like it was part of Festival of Thrills, but I think she just
saw the 13 girl again. Haven't I?
What have from Adventure Bears?
No, not her. You know.
Yeah, and you know, I say she obviously mixes with the actors and stuff. Well, she clocked that one of the actors she was dancing with at Oktoberfest was actually the 13 girl at Festival of Thrills.
Oh no!
So she spent time like dancing with her and stuff. And then we got home, watched the vlog, and was like, "Yeah, that is her." Yeah. So then next time we went, the actor was dead excited to see Hollie. And she was like coming running up to her. And
oh no!
Like yeah.
Hollie.
And I don't think she understood. Obviously, the actress didn't understand what she was doing.
Oh bless.
So yeah, it's a bit of a.
Dave would like to know if you have any European theme park plans for next year.
Plopsaland, definitely.
Plopsaland. Do you know what? I think maybe we should all just get together.
Yeah.
Rent a massive coach, and we'll all just go and do it in one go.
I've already planned the route and stuff. I've looked. It's not even that far, to be honest, is it? Driving, you can just go on the tunnel. So just plan
tunnel or ferry. I think equally. It was quite quick to get to. So
yeah, definitely next year we're going to do that, and probably Portaventura as well. We were supposed to go to Portaventura during COVID. It was booked before COVID, and then it got cancelled.
But I wouldn't have been able to go.
But Hollie would have been a bit too small for all the big rides then. But we did have a holiday planned to Portaventura, so that's on my list.
There you go, see, Hollie. It happened for a reason. It was cancelled for a reason. You see.
Yeah.
Fate wanted you to be tall enough to do the rides.
Yeah. So those two really. F-telling
Good
as
choices.
well. That's on my list, but it's just finding the funds to fund all of this stuff, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, funds and time, isn't it? It's just are always against us, I think. But yeah, I certainly agree with both of those. Will would like to know, what are each of your favourite roller coasters? So what's your absolute favourite, Hollie? Smiler, good choice. Solid, good coaster, that one. What about Ben?
Again, for me, I don't like. It always changes for me. Nemesis is always up there for me. I love Nemesis, just a classic, just from my childhood as well. But I love Colossus as well. I know a lot of people slate Colossus, but I love Colossus. I don't really have a favourite as such, to be honest. I don't have a top 5 or anything like that, but those two are always up there for me. Icon, I love Icon.
I have Smiler, Icon.
Smiler and Icon.
And then Swarm.
Yeah, Swarm as well. This is the thing. I love so many coasters, so I don't like to put a favourite because
then you think
I love them all in their own sort of way.
I love that one so.
And they're so different, aren't they? That's the problem. Is that it almost seems unfair to compare them.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Unfair. Yeah. I feel bad on the other coasters that I actually like by saying, "Oh no, this is my absolute favourite." So no, but I think if I had to pin one, I'd say Nemesis, just because of the many years I've had of riding it, and I still love it to this day. And I just hope and pray that they don't sort of ruin the ride experience by.
I know.
I just don't want it to be too smooth. That's the thing. I like how rough, sort of it's not rough, uncomfortable rough, is it? Nemesis. It's
no.
And
I
don't want that to go from it. To be honest, I don't want it to be. Yeah. Swarm for me is it's a great ride and I love it, but it's almost too smooth. Like there's no roughness in it at all, is there? It's just too smooth. So
no, I think if it didn't have the height it has, it would be a family coaster, wouldn't it? It's purely and simply because of the sheer height of its inversions that kind of counteract that smoothness a little bit, because you're like, it's fine. The smoothness is fine because actually you've got the intensity of the inversions, which make it a bit make up for, I suppose, for it. So yeah. What about the worst coaster you've ever ridden?
Stealth and Rita, because I had a bit of
I'm
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with Rattlesnake, I think.
The trusty injurer.
I can't believe that's still open and legal, to be honest, to put human beings. It's crazy.
It's truly horrific, isn't it? And what's worse is that I still keep going back to it because I kind of have this love-hate for it, because I never come off it without an injury or a bruise ever, and yet every time I go back to Chesington, I'm like, is Rattlesnake open? I've got to go on Rattlesnake, and then I come off going, why did I go back on Rattlesnake? When will I learn that I'm going to come away with an injury? It's just
same. I still ride it, but it's awful. It's absolutely awful. But
Oh, here we go, Hollie. Here's a question for you: is Dad ever grumpy? Because I've never seen Dad ever look grumpy.
Yeah,
he is.
That's a great question. I love it. Yeah, I am grumpy. Yeah. Perhaps I'll put some grumpiness in a vlog one time.
That would be hilarious, actually. Yeah, I think you should do that, definitely. It's not possible to be a parent and be as happy as you are all the time, Ben. Surely.
I'm more grumpy towards bedtime, mate. When I want to go to bed and these start playing up at bedtime. Parks,
Yeah.
I don't get grumpy. But, yeah.
Well, we go there to try and forget about things that make us grumpy, don't we? Most of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you with that one. So Holly, here's a great question. With it being Halloween, what's your favourite, chocolate or sweets?
I like Haribos.
Haribos.
What?
12.
12.
12 chocolate.
Nathaniel's sitting across the room now, shouting, "Answer, do you want to say hello, mate, and get your face in the?"
Oh, yeah.
Nathaniel just wants to say hello. He's just
Yeah,
been up
absolutely. Come on in.
watching
Hi,
Forest.
Nathaniel. Nice to
Hello.
see you. I look forward to meeting you in real life at a park soon.
Yeah.
Hello.
Was he not there last time, Darren? I can't remember. Was he?
It was
No, I think Ed was with you. Edward, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, it was just Edward. Yeah.
It was just Edward and Holly. Yeah. I think Nathaniel was home with Mum on that day. So, but yeah, I look forward to seeing you at a park soon, mate. Because you know, we can get some rides in. Always good fun. Always good fun. Coaster Captures would like to know: do you guys miss Jewel?
I do. Yeah. Holly's just run to the kitchen. She'll be back in a sec.
I love her. Even though she's out of the room, she's like, yeah.
Did you hear her?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, absolutely. Clear as a whistle. I was like, oh,
Bye-bye.
I'll take that as a yes then, Holly. Yeah. Bye, Nathaniel. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
See, I was never Jewel's biggest fan. I've got to be honest. Tomb Blaster for me knocked it out the park. As far, you know, I think Jewel could have been so much better if they didn't let it fall into such disrepair. And maybe that's what ruined it for me, was I didn't get to do it. I think the first time I ever did Jewel was in 2019, when it was already starting to show its age. The repairs weren't being done. There was brown tape and gaffer tape around, and you know, and it was just all looked a bit poor. And then obviously for me locally, I've got Tomb Blaster, which every year Chesington refresh in some way or another, whether it be small or or large. There is some kind of refreshing going on. So I was a bit disappointed with Jewel, and I don't miss it like some people do, but I don't have that love affair that a lot of people have had with it. So that's probably why I don't miss it, but I can certainly see why people do miss it.
Yeah, I think it leaves a big hole in Alton Towers, to be honest. It was always one of them rides, you can always just walk on it. There's never really a queue. You can always guarantee a ride
is the
on Jewel.
walk-on ride, isn't it?
No, we queued half an hour for Hex at the weekend. No, I do miss Jewel, and that's why I went on final day and I just sat. I think I did it 13 or 14 times. Just sat going round.
Wow.
To get some memories of it.
That's really good that you did it 13 times.
So Eddie wants to know your favourite flat ride and favourite dark ride.
My dark ride will be Valhalla, I think.
What was Valhalla?
If it ever reopens.
I like Doors.
Flat.
Oh, I liked that one I did yesterday that goes like that. That's my plan.
Which one? Oh,
The last ride I went on.
it's called Stargate. Yeah, it'll be in the vlog tomorrow. That's what she's talking about. This Stargate ride. So yeah, you'll see that in the vlog when I release it.
Nice.
I think I'd say regular flat that I go on would be Samurai. I think.
Yes, Samurai.
Samurai's a great ride.
I like Samurai.
Yeah, I love Samurai, but I have to say, it kind of got overtaken a little bit for me by Spin Jam. I know it's not a permanent ride.
Yeah.
But I love Spin Jam. And I know a lot of people, it's not their cup of tea. You know, they've come off feeling quite unwell.
Yeah.
The coaster capturers being one group who've definitely felt that was a bit too much. But I absolutely love it. It doesn't get me like that, and I think I could lap Spin Jam and still
Yeah.
not feel unwell. But Samurai as a permanent flat ride, I would agree is certainly one of the best. That I'm always torn between that and Vortex.
Yeah,
because I love Vortex as well. But I think Samurai is probably just about tips it for me, for a more whole experience.
Yeah.
Coaster Chicken would like to know.
Soar as well, Samurai. I like how it sits next to Soar and you can see all of it. It's just, yeah, I love it, to be honest.
I particularly like the fact that there are certain angles where you can see over into the kind of behind the scenes bit of Soar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
which I agree. It gives
Yeah.
you that extra something, doesn't it? Have you guys been to Drayton Manor?
Yeah.
James would like to know. And what did you think of Drayton Manor?
We loved it, didn't we? We went last year. Hollie again was too small for the likes of Shockwave, so we didn't get on that, did we?
No, you said if I would go on. You said I could go.
You could go on Shockwave now because you're tall enough, yeah. We rode Stormforce a couple of times, didn't we? And got absolutely soaked. But yeah,
I had heard.
Yeah. It's a drenched of that. The backwards drop on it just absolutely soaks you. Yeah.
So, Disney parks, Hollie. Would you like to visit any of the Disney parks?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to. We'd love to. I just need some money. I need a new job.
Or a lottery win.
Yeah.
Although, having said that, I was just playing around looking at a weekend at Disneyland in Paris, and actually it was nowhere near as expensive as I sort of envisaged it being.
Yeah, I've done, to be honest, and I don't think it's that bad, is it? Paris, if you just did that short stay.
I want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been to Florida when I was younger. I've been to Florida a few times, so I've done Disney World in Florida. And I'd absolutely love to take them there. But yeah, it's just saving up for the...
Yes, yeah. I'm with you on that one, certainly, Ben. I'd love to take all of my brood, because I think even my 17-year-old daughter would absolutely love it. She's done Paris, and she loved that. I think she'd love Florida even more because she does love Disney, you know, and always has done. So I think, you know, it would be a lovely trip for us all to do. But as you say, it's that how much?
We'll do it though. We definitely will do it. You know, I'll find a way to fund it. But it's a massive bucket list thing to do. So
yeah,
we'll definitely do it.
I'm just going to wait for my my workplace pension to pay out, and then I might just be able to might be able to afford it then.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it's time's marching on. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Hollie. I don't want to keep you up too late because I appreciate you've probably got school tomorrow, but I do appreciate the fact that you've come on tonight. It's been absolutely lovely to talk to you again, as it was at Carnival. And I was telling Daddy that I'm trying to get to Alton Towers for the 24th, which is one of the days that you're there. Yeah. And if I can, obviously it would be amazing to meet up again, and do some more rides at Alton Towers. And I'd love to do Smiler with you. Absolutely love it. I think it would be awesome. So I'll keep Dad informed about that one, and we'll sort of take it from there. But thank you both for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, as it always is. No, it's an absolute pleasure. I will include your social tags in the description, your YouTube channel and Instagram channel links in the description.
Appreciate that.
No, you're very, very welcome. As I said, thank you for coming on. It has been a pleasure, and you know it's been a very enjoyable chat. And Hollie, you've brightened up my Monday just by being you, which is absolutely fantastic, because Mondays are always difficult days, let's face it. But no, thank you for coming on, and I hopefully will see you soon. If you want to stick around at the end of the show and chat a bit longer, Hollie, I appreciate you probably need to go to bed. Don't feel like you have to. We can always catch up later on, okay? And as I say, hopefully at Alton Towers. So I'm going to say goodbye to you for now, and I will see you again soon, okay? Take care.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye for now.
Yeah. Cheers, Darren.
Bye. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining tonight, and I hope you enjoyed my chat there with Ben and Hollie. Next week, actually, I've got a young YouTuber and Instagrammer who lives in New York, actually, and his Instagram account is Intense Thrills. He's going to come on and talk a little bit about American coasters, American parks, and obviously Instagram and vlogging in America, which is absolutely fantastic. And I've got, as I'm sure most of you will have, a million questions for him about American parks and what he thinks of British parks. So yes, so I'm really looking forward to that one. So I hope you can all join me next week, same time, same place. Until then, I will say goodbye for now and see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.